Just to let you know, we sold about 160 tickets. We're going to have over 200 people here. So that's great. Thank you all for coming tonight. We got them to bring in some more bartenders, and they're starting to serve the food. So just to let you know, but we're going to go on with the show, and we've got some folks who are going to talk. So if you would please give us your attention so that you can hear what they've got to say, because a lot of you are here to hear what they've got to say. First, I want to introduce those elected officials or candidates who are with us tonight. Joshua Dowden, where you at, Joshua? Joshua's running for Senate District 11, or which Senate District 8, I'm sorry. Senate District 8. Is Barack Silver, you here yet? Oh, he just walked in. Candidate for governor. Alan Hedrick, I met you just a minute ago, running for Assembly District 20. Jesse Turner, where you at, Jesse? Jesse's over here running for CD1 against Tina Titus. Stan Height's running for sheriff. Where you at, Stan? Stan's over there. Running for sheriff. And David, I'm sorry, I can't read your last name. Come on up here so I can make sure I get your last name right. Running for City Council, Ward 6. Richard MacArthur, Assemblyman Richard MacArthur. Yeah. Over here. Tony Lane. I saw Tony come in. Where you at, Tony? Running in Congressional District 4. Sam Peters, running in Congressional District 4. Brenda Flank, running for Las Vegas City Council, Ward 4. That's an open seat, and Stavros Anthony is term limited, so that's an open seat and a chance to keep that seat Republican. If you are running for office and I didn't mention your name, please come up and see me. I also didn't mention Senate District. Kerry Buck, State Senator Kerry Buck, Senate District 5.
Hey, Carrie.
Michelle Romero, running for mayor of Henderson.
Annie. I'd love to get a picture.
Are there any other candidates here who I did not mention? Please come up and see me so I can introduce you. This is a great opportunity to see some folks who are going to be running for election next year, or current office holders, a chance to see what they've got to say.
They look pretty. I love Annie.
Denise Ashurst, right here, she's running in Assembly District 23. That's an open seat. Glenn Levitt currently has it, but he is running for State Senate, so that's an open seat, so opportunity to that seat to stay Republican as well.
There we go.
Okay, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to start off the evening with the candidates for Clark County Republican Central Committee Chairman. They're each going to get 3 minutes to speak, and we got a timer up here. She's going to give them a warning at 1 minute. And then a time's up when their 3 minutes are up, and then we're gonna cut them off. So they each get 3 minutes. This is a great opportunity because the only other time you're gonna get to hear them will be Tuesday night, and I think the bylaws say they get 2 minutes. So we're giving them half again as long to speak to you all as they're gonna get Tuesday night.
All right, I just gotta kind of keep them on. Really, to be honest with you,
okay, so if you can all quiet down here so we can hear the speakers. Okay, we have 4 candidates for Clark County Republican Central Committee. And this morning, I was deciding, is it going to be alphabetical or reverse alphabetical? So I grabbed a coin. Alphabetical was heads, reverse alphabetical was tails. So it's reverse alphabetical order that we're going in today. So our first speaker this evening, if you guys could kind of hold it down. Yo, back in the back.
I usually, if I do kind of
Okay, we're getting better. Thank you. Okay, our first speaker this evening is going to be Jesse Law. Jesse. There's Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Law.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. How are you all tonight? My name's Jesse Law. I'm running for the position of chairman for the Clark County Republican Party. You know, I've heard some funny rumors lately, and yes, I sing very beautifully. No, I've never been paid $10,000 to sing the national anthem, in spite of what you've heard. You know, I want you to know when you think of each other, or when you think of me, who am I? I'm a father. I actually started getting involved in politics when my daughter was in her mother's belly, and I got off the couch. I've toiled for years in the state of Nevada on the streets, knocking doors, making phone calls, leading campaigns, organizing precincts, and eventually I joined the presidential transition team in Washington, D.C. in late 2016. It was a high honor. I worked with the General Counsel's Office for the presidential transition team for Donald J. Trump. That experience was very positive. It led to me being a senior White House official. I was at the Export-Import Bank of the United States. I worked with the National Security Council on things like trade policy, infrastructure policy, foreign policy. In these experiences, at the Export-Import Bank of the United States, it was the most challenging political problem in D.C. And what I did was I brought everybody together, got them on the same page, and XM Bank became a keystone of the national security strategy of 2017 for the President of the United States. That's the kind of effort that I want to do inside of our organization. But I want you to know, I have 14 years with this organization. I have 11 years of professional experience organizing party successfully. The kinds of efforts that I want to see us engage in, what is it that the Clark County Republican Party can do better than any organization in the state? We're grassroots by our very nature. With cycle after cycle of experience organizing precinct work, it's not just so we're going to send people to precincts, it's that we're going to train them. We're going to put them on a calendar for training. By the end of the year, I want 500 trained precinct organizers. By this time next year, I want 1,000 trained precinct organizers. And in fundraising, just after the election, I raised over $800,000 for President Trump's election integrity effort, an effort that I led for the president. I'm absolutely plugged into the national Trump folks. I can absolutely bring that money into this organization and then to give to the candidates who are facing general election in 2022. This is the kind of effort that I bring, but it's because we'll be doing this together. I don't want us to be thinking of each other as anything other than what we are, and that's fellow Republicans. Because the real enemy, their socialist agenda winds up with Cuba. Cuba with no coffins for their dead, okay? That's the enemy. But me, I'm your friend, and I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, July 20th. Jesse Law, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jesse. Our next speaker, the one, the only, Eddie Hamilton.
Conservative, patriot, Trump Republican. And I'm asking for your votes for next Tuesday. Okay? And like Jesse, and like the other two candidates, I've been with this organization for almost 3 decades. The 3 decades that we have in the 21st century. So I know where all the bodies are buried. Okay? All right, so I pledge to be a very strong chairman. We represent 350,000 registered Republicans. We got to be strong. I believe in auditing the election. Okay? Assembly all paper ballots. We got to audit that. Secondly, let me promise you this. As chairman, I promise you that we will have a regular meeting. We haven't had any meetings this month, this year. We will have a meeting. Barring a nuclear attack, we will have a meeting either at the city park or at the Walmart parking lot, but we will have a meeting. We will not use the meeting to stifle dissent, okay? And secondly, what I'm going to do, there has been a lot of bad blood between the county party and the state party. To that extent, I'm going to set aside the bad blood. I'm going to set up a détente. You know what a détente is, right? A ceasefire. I will sit down mano a mano, tete-a-tete, with Chairman McDonald of Nevada GOP. We're going to have a written contract, what we could expect from the county party to do for us, what they could expect for us to do for the state party. So no more bad blood, or we cannot have unity. And as chairman, what I'm going to do, we're going to set up a collection ballot. You know that there will be mail ballots in Nevada, right? And that's how we lost the 2020 election. I think there's about 50,000 to 80,000 Trump ballots stranded at home. So I'm going to have a very aggressive collection of ballots. I'm going to have ballot boxes at gun shows. They will have ballots to make up Republican ballots. Boxes. And we're going to have drop boxes at churches and any other conservative outlets. That's what I'm going to do. So I promise you, I'm going to be a strong leader. I want to be known in Clark County as Mr. Republican. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Our next speaker is David Crete. David Crete, ladies and gentlemen.
First, I want to start off by thanking the Nevada Republican Club for setting this up. Second, I'm going to tell you these lights are pretty bright. But this is a great event tonight, and I really do appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And it's great for all of us to get up and y'all can hear what we all have to say. First off, my name is Dave Crete. I am a candidate for the Clark County Republican Central Committee Chairman. I'm also a husband. Next week will be 35 years. I'm a father of 4, raised a few others. My 5th grandchild is on the way. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force, where I served right here in Las Vegas. I was stationed up on the Nellis Range and did those really cool things and stuff, and I had a great honor. And it was the best thing I ever did to start out my adult life. The question I get asked a lot is, why are you running? And I'm running for 2 reasons. But before I tell you those 2 reasons, I'm going to tell you this. We're all blessed because everybody running is a great person. It has nothing to do with whether or not it's a good guy or a bad guy or a good lady versus a bad lady. That's not it at all. Our problem is our party is split. If you look and see what's happened over the last few elections, and you read the newspaper or you look on the internet, all you hear about is this fractured Clark County Republican Party. And we can see the results of that. We haven't been winning the victories that we should be winning at every level. We're 3rd in our registered voters. All right? So it's not about the people. I'm running to heal our party, number 1, because it needs to be.
Big time.
Our enemy is not one another. Our enemy is the Democrats and the socialists and the people who think that the government of Cuba is a good idea. It's Harry Reid. All right? That's who we're fighting, and it needs to stop being us. Number 2, I am the only candidate that's actually done this job before and has an idea of what needs to be done. It's not some really cool, lofty ideas. It's real specific things that make this work. I was the Republican Party chairman of Maricopa County. 3.5 million people, 745,000 Republicans, and we actually won elections. And we had a cohesive Republican Party. So the reason I am running is we need to bring everybody together, fight as one, figure out who the enemy is, and kick their butts. Number two, I bring the experience that's actually done this. Because I'm not giving what we have to my kids and grandchildren, and I know you don't want to either. We want to see us be the majority. We want our values being what's talked about out there, not what's being dictated to us. All right? We have a great party. We have the right idea. My name is Dave Crete. I'm running for the Clark County Republican Party chairman, and I truly ask for your vote. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. Thank you, David.
Our fourth speaker, thank you, David. Our fourth speaker is Kerry Buck. Ladies and gentlemen, Kerry Buck.
Hello, everyone. I'm Senator Kerry Ann Buck, and I just got done fighting the Democrats up in Carson City with each no vote that I voted. I don't want to go back up to Carson City without a majority in the state Senate, the state assembly. I want the governor's seat back for a Republican. That's why I'm running for chair of the Republican Party. There has never been a sitting senator, Republican senator, with two Democrats beneath them, nestled beneath them in the assembly. So how did I win my race and the two Democrats under me didn't? It's because I know how to run campaigns. I know how to swing voters. And guess what, folks? We're the third largest voting group. We're no longer second. We have to convert soft Democrats and independents to win. And I know how to do this. My race was -6 points. -6. Now think about that. That has not been won for a Republican since 2014. I know how to win races. Do you want to keep losing? I don't. And that's why I'm getting involved. And I need all of your help. I've spent my life serving families, children. I've raised millions of dollars for kids in schools. Look me up at votekerrybuck.com. I will not disappoint you. I promise you I'm an achiever and I will work for you like I am up in the state Senate. So who's your enemy? Who's your enemy, folks?
You.
This guy is mine, and all the people that I had to stand up and fight up there in Carson City. I was the second most conservative voter in the state Senate, and you can look that up. That's how I'm different. I have a precinct plan that's specific. I have walk teams that will be trained to win each district, one by one. I'm a fighter. I grew up with conservative values. I used to walk beans and sell sweet corn door to door for my school clothes. So I know how to knock doors, and I promise you that I won't be sitting there as chair on some throne. I will be working day to day to get Republicans elected. Thank you. I'm Kerry Buck.
Thank you, Kerry. All right. As you know, we're going to take, I'll be back here in probably about 15 minutes to take a little break before we get the legislators up here. As you know, something like this just doesn't happen. A lot of folks make it go. Where's Suzanne? Suzanne Spinelli, where you at? Is she out in front?
Yeah, we're
anyway,
going through the
Suzanne
process.
Spinelli was the prime person putting all this together. Susan Prophet, Sherry Rickard, where's Frank Stantor? Anyway, would everybody who is an officer or a board member of the Nevada Republican Club please raise your hand, stand up and raise your hand. There's Suzanne right there. Suzanne, thank you so much for making this happen. Martha Kimball, our secretary. Bob Sullivan on the board. Sherry Rickard on the board. Where's Pauline, past president? Bob Sullivan, past president. There's Pauline over there. I saw Stephen Settlemyer. He's our sergeant at arms. Bill Cole, where you at, Bill? Bill's one of our board members. Did I miss anybody? If I missed you, I apologize. Please come and smack me. Anyway. Oh, Patty Domingo, back in the back. I see Patty. Sorry, Patty. Anyway, this group of folks I've had the pleasure to work with over the last 6 months, 7 months as president of the club. And it has been a pleasure working with this group of folks who are dedicated to getting Republicans elected, who are dedicated to informing our members on what's going on with the issues. If you are a member of our club, great. We love to see you at our luncheons. If you are not a member of our club, you can join our club at NevadaRepublicanClub.com and become a member of our club. We have monthly luncheons the first Tuesday of every month at the Ahern Hotel and Convention Center. We bring in some entertaining and educational speakers to inform our group, our audience on what it is that's going on in Nevada. As we get into election season, we will have a lot of candidates who will be coming to our luncheons. We already have a bunch. We'll have even more. So it'll be a great opportunity to meet the folks who are running for election to represent you at the City Council, the County Commission, on the school board, in the Assembly, the Senate, and at state office levels.
I noticed that, yeah.
Just to let you know, we've already had Mayor John Lee from North Las Vegas. We've got Sheriff Lombardo coming in October. We have Sigal Chatta, who is running for Attorney General to beat Aaron Ford. She is coming in November. And in December, one of our stalwart, hardcore Libertarian Republicans, Wayne Allen Root, will be our speaker. So go to our website, NevadaRepublicanClub.com, and check us out. I'll be back in about... I'll be back in about 15 minutes, and we'll introduce our legislators, and you get a chance to chat with them. In the meantime, the food line is open, the bar is open, and enjoy getting a chance to converse and meet with fellow Republicans. Thank you very much. State Senator Kerry Buck. Kerry, come on up. Wherever you're at, Kerry. And Doug, they're requesting you up front at the entrance. Anyway, State Senator Kerry Buck. Also, we have Assemblyman Richard MacArthur. Richard, where are you? Come on up. Come on down. You're the next contestant on. You get to speak. Assemblywoman Annie Black out of Mesquite. Where's Annie? Annie, come on up. All right, Andy Matthews was supposed to be here tonight, but he texted me a few minutes ago his car died, and so he's either having a funeral or having it towed. Hopefully he'll be having it towed to the repair shop and get it fixed, but he's not going to be able to join us this evening. Also, Assemblywoman Haiti Kasama from Assembly District 2, she got a hold of me yesterday and said, or the day before, and said she's going to go, she's up in Seattle visiting her grandchildren. Quite a few of our legislators are actually taking a break after the session and are out of town, but representing her tonight is her daughter, Serena Kasama. Come on up, Serena. All right. So I'm going to give each of these folks a couple minutes to talk, or 3 or 4. Anyway, give you a chance to hear from your legislators. There's still food left. I don't think they've run out of booze. I hope not, because my glass is empty and I got to get a refill. Anyway, so first person we're going to have speak with you this evening about the legislative session is State Senator Kerry Buck. Kerry.
Hello, everyone. You all have a little note sheet so you can take notes on bills that really make you mad and look them up later, all right? Only a week into session, I realized that we Republicans have no say in the budget. We have no say in what bills are heard in our committee. We have no say in when we can come home for the weekend. And so every Sunday night, I would fly up to Carson City, and every Friday, maybe, if I had a heads up that we didn't have a Saturday session, I would come home. Some of the bills in which passed eviction and anti-landlord tenant bills. There was AB 486. It established procedures involving evictions for non-payment of rent, and it expires July of 2023. Well, what about all those landlords? They forgot to pass things to help landlords. Also, AB 141. The court must automatically seal records relating to an action for summary eviction for non-payment of rent that is granted during COVID-19. As far as DEETR goes, the biggest issue was they just threw a bunch of money, $54 million at DEETR, but they didn't take the Republican plan that actually fixed the issues with DEETR. And that would have been SB 419. They never heard the bill. Public health, SB 420, SB 420, Canizero care is much like Obamacare, known as forced public option. Public safety. If you look at public safety, what they did was they actually made traffic violations non-criminal. So it's going to be cheaper to actually pay the ticket than actually go and fix all of the issues that are actually got you the warrant. SB 212 requires officers to provide warning prior to firing projectiles into crowds. I guess that was a good idea. Some marijuana bills. We have AB 326, which requires a cannabis establishment to put a licensing number on advertising, and AB 49, which requires the State Department of Agriculture to have maximum THC levels. Now, they're going to attack our Second Amendment rights. They already took away ghost guns, which it actually will hurt our SHOT Show, chances for the SHOT Show in the future. And then AB 286 is the one that you want to look up there. And they're going after your right to carry out on the strip. So if you go to the MGM and they're a gun-free zone, that almost passed. Every single Republican voted against that. They removed mother and father from birth certificates. Now they will be called birthing people and other parents. They also attack school choice. Every single Republican voted against that too, folks. So, as far as taxes go, we actually won the lawsuit, but it was hundreds of millions of dollars, 2/3 vote. We won the lawsuit that basically the Democrats put through the 2/3 vote. You can look that up. And then as far as SB 490, the CCEA actually went and started a ballot initiative. They got all the signatures they needed. Then what they did is they had the mining industry and the casinos lobbying to pass it. Why? Because if it would have went to the ballot, it would have decimated the industry, especially the mining industry. And really quick, I was on the Legislative Operations and Integrity, Operations and Elections Committee. And so as far as election integrity, they did pass, Eddie mentioned it, Eddie Hamilton, great job on your speech. Eddie's right, they passed AB 321. And that bill means that we have ballot harvesting and mail-in ballots, and there's not a dang thing we can do about it until we get the majority. AB 321, they almost passed SB 292, which would have been click on the Democrat and it goes all the way down the ballot, straight ticket voting. That was taken out at the last minute as part of the mining deal. So now, with Democrats, when they control both houses and the Democrat seat, they're going to control how they draw the lines in November when we go back for special session. We can't do anything to stop this until we take back the majority. That's why we have to get in there and get Republicans elected to office. Our governor and both of our legislators, Assembly and Senate. Thank you. Kerry Buck.
Thanks, Carrie. Hi. Our next speaker is Assemblyman Richard MacArthur. Dick? Yo, Richard, you're up. He's just going to say hi.
Hello, everyone. I probably am only going to say hello. I didn't know we were speaking tonight, so I'll make this short. Richard MacArthur, I represent Assembly District 4, which is in the northwest part of Las Vegas. I'll just leave you with one main thought, a couple comments, and that is we need more Republicans elected to office. This last session we had up in Carson City, the Democrats ran roughshod over us. They pushed through every bill they wanted, and if they didn't like any of our bills, they never saw the light of day. They never got a vote. They didn't even get brought before a committee. So it's very important because the party that is in control, they run everything. So we need more bodies out there. And I did hear recently that there are now as many independents as there are Republicans. I was just told that. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, we got the work cut out for us. Not only do we have to get Republicans to vote, we have to go out and get the independents to also vote. So it's going to be a very tough time up there this next time. We need more Republicans, whether it's city, county, state, federal, so we can try to get some of the things we want. But if we don't win a few seats in 2022 and 2024, I think our state of Nevada and our whole country are going to be in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I would say thank you very much, and we need to get out and do a lot of work, get more Republicans voted. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Andy, where you at? I see her, so here she's coming. We're waiting. If you're not getting Annie Black's Annie-grams, you need to. Yeah. Okay? We're talking about the lady that tells it like nobody else in Nevada is telling it right now. Sorry, Chuck. I know you taught her wherever Chuck Booth is. Yes, Chuck Booth. I know you taught her. She has learned well. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Assemblywoman Annie Black.
Yeah!
How are you?
Glad you're here.
All right. It's great to be here. It's great to be home. It's great to be down south with all my people. Look, I don't have a legislative update for you other than to say the bills were bad. That's all I can really say about it. The great news is we have so much hope for 2022. We are going to kick some major butt. We're going to take control of the caucus.
Assemblyman Haiti Kasama was not able to be here, so she has asked her daughter, Serena Kasama, to represent her this evening. Serena, Mike is yours for a minute.
Hi everyone, my name is Serena Kasama and I am here on behalf of my mom. She is the Assemblywoman for Nevada District 2, and if you are curious, that is Summerlin here in the Valley. And it was a tough session, and so she was a freshman legislator. She did win her election. Several people had asked her for many years to run, and she always said it wasn't the time. But the session before this one, she saw the quality of bills that were coming out of Carson City, and she said, I can either complain or I can do something about it. And so she ran, she won her election, and from my experience of just watching her run, I would just like to say to anyone who's ever served in public office and continues to serve, thank you for what you do. It is tough. It is tough to run, it is tough to win, and it's tough to serve. And so thank you for all you do, and just know that they are trying their best. It was a tough session though. My mother tried to get a bill passed for Nevada to help with our medical industry, and it fell under the purview of our Ways and Means Committee, and the chairperson, who is a Democrat, she said, this is a good bill for the state of Nevada. I would refuse to let any Republican bill leave committee. It will never hit the floor. We had congressmen call her to say this is a good bill for our state. We had fellow legislators, both Democrat and Republican, tell her this is a good bill and it should be heard. And she said, my rule is no Republican bill will ever be heard on the floor out of my committee. And so just to show you what so many legislators came up against that had Republican in front of their name, it is important to support fellow candidates because that is the only way you will get good legislation out of the state. So thank you, and my mother wishes she could be here.
Okay, those are our speakers for this evening. I'm looking for Susan and Patty and Christy and Suzanne. You need to do the raffle. You got all the stuff to do the raffle and the prizes? If you bought raffle tickets, take them out.
I'll go with it. I'll make it. Yeah.
Are there any, by the way, while they're setting up, are there any candidates who are here who came in later who I did not announce this evening? If there are, please come up. Where's David Dilley? Running for Ward 6, Las Vegas City Council. David Dilley back here in the back. Are there any others? Okay. While they're setting up, let me talk about a couple things. A couple folks up here tonight talked about the fact that. Hang on a second. This doesn't happen without a lot of hard work. And with a lot of help. Not necessarily just financial help, but help from folks in this room. Help from folks in the organizations and the clubs. So, if you are not a member of one of the clubs, and there are numerous clubs here in Clark County and in Nevada, check them out. If you would like, we'd love to have you join our Nevada Republican Club. We have 650 members and we are growing. And so we would love to have you join our club. It is the really ridiculous price of $25 a year to be a member of our club. And for that $25, you get a $5 discount at each of our monthly luncheons. So if you attend 5 monthly luncheons, you've made your $25 fee back. We have, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lunch the first Tuesday of every month. We have a social such as this once a quarter, and we're already starting to work on planning our one for the fall. So we would love to have you join our club. If that doesn't work, there are numerous other clubs around the valley that you can join where you can keep abreast of what's happening here in politics in Nevada, who the candidates are, and how you can help the candidates. Because it's going to take us and that's been mentioned by more than one person tonight. It's going to take us working to get Republicans elected. It's not just going to happen because we wish it to happen. All right, ladies ready? Okay. Okay, who's got the...
I'm not even in the crowd.
All right, they're drawing the numbers.
The first number for a one-night stay at Longstreet's Inn and Casino, which is up in Armagosa. So if you're looking to go into Death Valley, it's great. You can go, explore, and then stay overnight. And the number is 974-1702. Last three numbers, 702. Our next raffle ticket is for the Skyline Restaurant and Casino, and it's dinner for two.
I just moved too.
Which? Hold on. It's and the number is 974-1291. Last three digits, 291. The next ticket will be also for a one-night stay at the Longstreet Inn, and the number is 974-2158. 158. 158. Are you in the room?
Oh, he's coming.
Go grab it. The next prize is for house cleaning, master bedroom, and the bathroom, along with a Las Vegas mug from the Dennis Bono Show. And the winning ticket is 974-1615. 615. Again, going once, going twice, 615. The next ticket is for a cooler that has the gel in the bottom. You just put it in the freezer. You don't even have to put a freezer pack in the cooler. And the number is 974-1826. 826. Going once, going twice, 826. We'll come back to that one. The next prize is a freezable 16-can cooler backpack. And the winning number is 974-2032. 032. We have our own Vanna White here.
Oh, I'm going to have a field there with that.
032.
Huh?
Check your tickets. Going once, going twice, 032. We'll go for the same price again. And the number, is this on? I have to put my eyes on, I can't see it.
really good guy.
974-1965. 1965. Come on, people.
Do you have a card?
Okay, let's keep going.
Thank you. There you go. Pleasure meeting you.
974-1987.
Everybody says you're everywhere.
1987.
Nobody's paying me.
Woo! Okay, we have one more. We found the owner of the ticket from the last one, and now we have another packet, freezable. We get to pull a ticket? Since you won? Okay, this is our last gift. 974-2069. 2069. That's it. Thank you everyone for contributing to the raffle.
Thank you, ladies. Christy, Suzanne, Patty, Susan. Thank you, ladies. All right, I would like to introduce to you now past president of the Nevada Republican Club, Pauline Lee, has put together a team and started a program which is going to...
But most importantly, what we do is we love being social. We are a social club. We welcome Republicans into our club, and we try to get everyone registered so that we can vote for our Republican representatives. We are having a new program. It's not that new. It actually makes sense. We have 7,000 Republicans who have moved into our state, and they all need to be registered Republican. Isn't that easy? Right? It's easy. So join our program. We are giving gift bags that say Nevada Republican Club, and we're giving them goodies, and we're getting them registered to vote and getting them ready for 2022. I hope you will join me and our club. If you are interested in getting trained and being part of our army, please join us by emailing me at Pauline@NevadaRepublicanClub.com. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you, Pauline. You can also find out more information about her Welcome Neighbor program on our website, www.NevadaRepublicanClub.com. You can find out information about that. All right, well, folks, that ends our program for this evening. There is still food left. The bar is still open. And Stoney's is ours exclusively until 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, they open it up to everybody. So feel free to stick around. You don't have to leave at 7 o'clock. It's just other people will be able to come in. I want to thank you all on behalf of our club for attending tonight. I hope you found our evening enjoyable and educational. A chance to meet the 4 people who are going to be running for Clark County Chair on Tuesday. A chance to meet the legislators. And even in some ways more important, a chance to meet a lot of like-minded Republicans who maybe we don't really get the chance to chat with very often. So I'm glad that y'all came here. We've gotten over 200 people here tonight. So that's a wonderful turnout. We're very glad for that.
Pleasure, man. I got you. God bless you.
Thank you all for coming. Drive home safe, and I look forward to seeing you at our luncheons, our next luncheon on August 3rd. A couple other events that are coming up, just to let you know. The Bass Fry is happening up in Gardnerville on August 14th. The speakers are Governor Rick DeSantis, Senator Tom Cotton, Rick Grinnell, and Matt Schlapp. You can go to our website and get information on that. Also, the Nevada Policy Research Institute has a dinner on August 19th. The speaker is Molly Hemingway. Information on that, you go to npri.org. That's npri.org. Keystone Corporation is having a luncheon on the 20th. The speaker is Congresswoman Michelle Steele. She is one of the freshman Republicans who flipped a district from D to R in 2020 in California. And then also on October 25th, Keystone is having its annual dinner. The speaker is Carl Rowe. I hope you'll look into attending some of these events. And again, I look forward to seeing you at Republican events in the future.